Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. From websites and online stores, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence.
Hello friends, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another YouTube video. Today I am finally going to be doing a sketchbook tour, which I think has been a long-awaited video from me, from all of you, because I do a lot of videos working in sketchbooks. However, the problem is I work in so many different sketchbooks from, mixed media, drawing, watercolor, gouache. So I am constantly jumping around from sketchbook to sketchbook, which unfortunately means it takes me a long time to actually finish one from start to finish. But we are finally here. This bad boy, this mixed media sketchbook, not even a lot of pages, there's 40. I finally finished it. I am embarrassed to admit that it was started in 2016 and I only just finished it a couple of days ago. We are now in August of 2021, but you know what? Better late than never. And I will say, since this is a mixed media sketchbook, I do use it to its full potential and I use a lot of different mediums in here. Unfortunately, again, because it's spanning years and years, I will not be able to provide exactly what brands I was using throughout every single page. I do try my best to let you know what mediums were used here. I will link this particular sketchbook in the description because I will say I do really like it. I don't love soft cover. I think I generally prefer hardcover sketchbooks, but I really like the paper in this. I find that it is quite versatile in terms of actually properly being able to use a lot of different mediums. So without further ado, let's jump into the video.
But before we get into the rest of the video, I wanted to quickly talk about today's sponsor, Squarespace. If you are a creative person, whether it be illustration, design, dance, writing, etc., I think that one of the most important things to have is a place where people can find your work. Squarespace is a really flexible platform that caters to many different types of aspiring creatives and working professionals. There are so many features, such as being able to have a portfolio, embedding videos, to having an online shop. And the best part is that you don't need to know how to code. So you can build your own website totally on your own without having any, web building experience. The templates and designs can be used just as they are, or you can easily customize them to suit your style and needs. And so if you are interested in launching your own website, feel free to head over to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/imawonder for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
All right, so let's just jump in. So as I said, this started in 2016. So this is the first page. Our girl Hermione from Harry Potter, looking super sour and sassy, which is my favorite Hermione. This was, I think, acrylic ink and colored pencils. And we've got a proclamation for the year that I started this sketchbook. I think I was kind of still in a typography mode at this time, so that's probably why I was doing that. I think this is watercolors and colored pencils and a little bit of little glitter accents. If you have been with my channel, you would have seen this already. I've done a redraw video of this Daria drawing, which I still think is really cute. I still love Daria. It is just like the epitome of the 90s, and I just love it. This was definitely watercolors and colored pencils again, and then I think I might have used a fine liner, and then probably some gel pen or paint marker for that highlight on her hair. Some cute kitty drawings. I still really love this face. I think it's so derpy and cute. Oh my gosh. I need to draw cats more often. Another cat drawing that I didn't end up finishing. Oh yes, and then this is the pairing to go with the Daria drawing. We've got her friend Jane Lane. And yeah, I feel like because I redrew Daria, I should redraw this Jane Lane drawing as well. I think that will make for a cute pairing. I love her. This I still actually really love. This is mostly watercolors, but I did use some colored pencils on top there. And I actually really love the way that I did the eyes. I love the little stars as the highlights in the eyes, and just the very kind of clean graphic approach to the hair. Maybe I'll redraw this at some point as well, because I really enjoy that. And I think her eyebrows are like that perfect feathery bit in the front there. This is still 2016. I'm kind of impressed that I'm still like, I don't hate this stuff, even though it's like pretty old now. This was all in a fine liner, I believe, and I was clearly really digging the little stars in the eyes, which I think I've actually been starting to do again because I just think it's super cute. Ooh, yes, and we've got our Queen Leia from Star Wars. I actually, I really like how I did this, like, you know, kind of galaxy silhouette for the gun and the very, like, pastel blue, purple colors here. This was definitely watercolor and color pencil again, and then, yeah, paint marker or gel pen. And again, the little stars in the eyes. Okay, now we're moving into 2017, and I did a series of portraits of Disney princesses, Disney gals, and I think I had turned these into stickers at the time. I was doing a lot of conventions, so first we've got Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and I used, I believe, the acrylic ink for the liner, and then it was like alcohol markers and color pencils on top. And yeah, I was really into like very, very thick, bold brows. I mean, I still am, but I think I've kind of favored slightly thinner brows these days. Then we've got our girl Mulan. We have Moana. I think Moana had just come out this year. I really like her face here. It just looks so cute. This is of a singer slash beauty influencer on Instagram. I forget the handle right now. I'll put it up on screen, but she's gorgeous, and I wanted to use her as reference for a drawing. A cute little witch. I used this as a sticker design for quite a while that I would throw in as freebies in my shop back at the time. And yeah, I like the mostly kind of black graphic elements here with like the pops of pastel colors. And it's interesting how this is from 2017, but I still feel like the fashion that I chose for this witch still totally holds up for me. Like I still really like this outfit. So it's you know, some things stay in style. Back to the princess portraits here. We've got Rapunzel and Jasmine. I think the shine on the hair turned out really nice there. And it looks like I had started Meg from Hercules, but unfortunately never got around to finishing it. And I think that was the end of my little Disney series there. A mermaid. This was, I think, yeah, alcohol markers, fine liners, and colored pencil. And then we completely jump ahead here. I think, yeah, so 2017 was this piece, and then I just abandoned the sketchbook, I guess, for a while, and then totally just randomly picked it back up in, when was this? 2020 I made a YouTube video using Posca markers. And so, yeah, like years went by until I picked up this sketchbook again. And yeah, this paper held up pretty well for the paint markers. So I was pretty happy with that. And I really like the colors that I did for here. So if you haven't seen that video yet, I'll put it up in the little corner here if you're interested in seeing that video and me talking about how I use Posca markers. And this was also part of that video as well. But yeah, Posca markers are acrylic paint markers, but I will say that they are probably my favorite. I have tried a number of different brands. I would say that I think their color selection is my favorite. Like this teal and this peach, it's just chef's kiss. Beautiful, beautiful colors. And then again, some more Posca paint marker stuff. This was a Draw This In Your Style from, I forget their handle. Again, I'll put it up on screen, but check them out. I really adored the little peach buns. I thought that was a super cute design. Another paint marker thing. So this was using Posca paint markers, and then I had at the time purchased Molotow paint markers, and I was swatched them all at the top here. And here I am testing out the Molotow paint markers that I got. And yeah, I definitely had gone for like a slightly more earthy palette, which to, balance out my very bright, fun Posca selection. And I actually really like the color scheme and just the stylizing of these flowers here. And yeah, I don't normally go for earthy palettes, but I really like the color selection here. Unfortunately, the skin here on this gal was very patchy. I probably should have went for a second layer going in the opposite direction, but it was just, in my sketchbook, just testing them out. Here we jump to, this was December 2020, and this was the artwork that I did for my Patreon page for the month of December, and I also made a YouTube video on it. Again, feel free to check that out if you haven't, and it was about how I go about using colored pencils. As you probably have seen, I use colored pencils a lot for the kind of top layer where I use like alcohol markers or watercolors underneath, but this was where I only used colored pencils to build up the color. And then I went ahead and used a little bit of gold ink for the metallic bits on her earrings and on the poinsettias there, which was a nice little touch. I don't use colored pencils on their own very often just because it takes so much longer to like build up that color, but it's something that I used to do all the time in high school. And then this was the sticker design for that same month for my Patreon page. And this was alcohol markers and colored pencils. I really like this kind of tealy emerald green with this peach color. I think it's a really cute color combo. This was a redraw, actually, just for fun for my Patreon page of an older gouache piece that I had done. And then I went ahead and redid it with paint markers. This, if you've seen my making clay earrings video, I think I'd shown this maybe on there, but basically I was using some alcohol markers to brainstorm some clay earrings ideas. I still haven't done too many earrings since that video, but I still really like a lot of the designs that I've done here, so I'm sure at some point I will get around to executing more of these ideas. And then this was some tiger studies. I've been slowly trying to get myself to draw animals a little bit more, not doing a great job at approaching them as often as I would like. But yeah, I used this this opportunity to make a video for my Patreon page, and I kind of went through how I approached drawing these tigers. This was at the height of my obsession with Skate the Infinity. I think I had just finished watching the series and I am obsessed with these characters, so I just had to get it out of my system. So I went ahead and drew them, and I used paint markers, and honestly, I really think the kind of outlining of the highlights here on the hair is really, really fun. And I have not done it since, but now that I'm seeing it again, I feel like I definitely want to approach that again at some point. But yes, I love them, and I really hope that we get a second season because I'm obsessed. And here we got some more paint marker action. This was for an exclusive Patreon video, and I had asked my patrons for some drawing ideas, and a lot of the prompts that they had given me were summer themed, so I went ahead and did that. And mostly paint marker. I think there was a touch of color pencil happening in a few areas, but mostly paint marker there. Again, another Patreon video, or no, this was a Patreon live stream, and this is paint marker and then alcohol markers for that print in the back. And this was a study of a still life photo from Instagram. And here we've got a Patreon sticker design that I did for the month of August, right? I believe. The idea that I had was I just really wanted to do some kind of portrait with these flame sunglasses because I think they are so cool. And I had a lot of fun experimenting with the two light sources coming in, the two colored light sources. And yeah, this was alcohol markers and colored pencils. I really love the way that I did the hair here, just like the really chunky kind of stylizing there. Really enjoy that. And this was another Draw This in Your Style from Charlie Clements, I believe. This was also for my YouTube video that I posted last about how to fill your sketchbook. And this was using paint markers, and then I used gouache for the background there. And yeah, this was for that same video. I did watercolors and ballpoint pen, and I really like this combo, and those was my first time doing this combination, and I definitely want to do it again because I think it's a really interesting look. Another Patreon sticker design. This is for the month of, this is for the month of August. The other one was for the month of July. Yes. The theme for this month for July was Hot Girl Summer. And then this theme for the month of August was citrus. So I did little citrusy earrings, and this I did on a live stream here on YouTube. So if you haven't seen it, feel free to check that out. Again, doing that two-tone lighting, super fun, alcohol markers and colored pencil. And this actually is the last page that I finished in this sketchbook, and this is going to be the sticker design for Patreon for September. And the theme that I have chosen for the month of September is academia, which I think is very suitable since, you know, it's the time of the year where most people are going back to school. And if this looks vaguely familiar to you, maybe it is, because I did get this idea from Trixie Mattel on All Stars 3. She did a runway where she had like these like big round glasses, and then she had like books and an apple stacked on her head. And I just always thought that look was so cute. And so I went ahead and used that kind of concept for this girl. And, you know, for the month of September, academia, school time, it always makes me think of autumn. So I wanted to go for a very autumn fall color scheme here. And I always have loved like ginger hair with green eyes. I think it's such a pretty color combo. So I went ahead and did that. And yeah, this was colored pencil and marker. And getting to the last leg of the sketchbook here. So for those of you who are following me on Instagram, I'm sure you've seen these portraits already, but I did a series of portraits of the characters from My Hero Academia. And this is Midoriya, the main character. And I just had this idea to have them a little like bandaged up and with these little stickers, very like 90s tastic. And again, doing that two-toned lighting, which I just think is super fun and dynamic. And yeah, I used alcohol markers and colored pencils, and I just like really pushed the colors here, like really went in for a very, very high impact, colorful portrait. And I had a lot of fun working on them. And yeah, so then we've got our boy Shinso, and really enjoyed, again, just this like very kind of chunky graphic approach to the hair. As you might know if you've seen my other videos, I constantly have trouble deciding how I want to approach hair, and so I actually am really digging this style. And again, if you've seen my last YouTube video where I talked about 5 ways to fill up your sketchbook, you will have seen the process of this portrait of Bakugo that I had filmed for that video. And I really like this like kind of neon limey yellow highlight that's coming in on this side. And then last but not least, we've got Todoroki, and this is actually the last page in this sketchbook. End on a high note. I had a tricky time with his hair because white is often, a little bit of a trickier shade to color because you don't want to add too much to take away from what the actual color is going to be, but you still want to add something to shade it. And so I was worried that it ended up being a little bit too like blonde looking, but in any case, I think at the end of the day, if you're familiar with the character, you know what I'm going for here. And that is the end of this sketchbook. It took me a long time to finish it. I am very slow at finishing sketchbooks because I have so many of them, but I'm glad that I was able to finally do a sketchbook tour for all of you, and I hope that you found it interesting and kind of seeing the various things that I've gone through, even just seeing a little bit of a style evolution here as well. And hopefully I can finish more sketchbooks moving forward and do more sketchbook tours for you guys. All right, and that is the finished sketchbook tour. I hope that you enjoyed seeing the progress of all of my different, styles that I've gone through since 2016, as well as a lot of the different mediums that I've been using throughout the course of this sketchbook. And I will say, I just want to mention to you that this is not what every sketchbook should look like. I know that I am kind of someone who makes a lot of very finished looking illustrations in a lot of my sketchbooks. And so I don't want this to make you feel bad about what your sketchbook looks like, because I think that everybody has their own way of using a sketchbook. And I do have other sketchbooks that I use in a much more, loose way. I'm the type of person that just really gets carried away when I start something. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. Please don't feel bad if your sketchbook doesn't look nearly as kind of full or finished as this. It should be whatever you want your sketchbook to be. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you had fun, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!